Help me! I'm being lost in space. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! My helmet fell off. Oh wait, it's a plastic tub. Hey guys, it's Daniel here with a new review, and not only that, it's a TV review. Kind of, because this is a show that's a Netflix original series, but if you have Netflix, you have no reason not to see Lost in Space. I mean, it is beautiful. The basic premise of Lost in Space is that it takes place 29 or 30 years into the future, in which families are being chosen to start a new life on these different colonies on this giant spaceship. But unfortunately, one family, the Robinsons, end up getting their spaceship lost off course and landing on a planet. And basically the whole show is about this family trying to make it off the planet alive with the help of some other people, as well as their son, Will, forming a really strong bond with this robot. Now, I've been trying to find a Netflix show to watch, just scrolling through there, trying to find a Netflix show to watch, and I saw this show called Lost in Space, and I was like, that looks interesting. Now, I'm going to make a pretty controversial statement right now, although I don't really think it's controversial. I have never seen the original Lost in Space, because this is supposed to be a reboot to the original Lost in Space, but I've not really watched the original. But if it's a remake or a reboot, you don't really have to watch the original to enjoy a remake. Yay! So, I watched the first episode of Lost in Space, the new one, and when I saw that episode, I was like, oh my god, I love this show. I gotta keep watching the show. So I managed to watch all 10 episodes, and I have to say, this show blew my flipping mind. It is the best Netflix show I have seen, I guess, since Home Adventures with Tip and O. So, a few years later, they've surprised me with another great Netflix show. First of all, the visuals. They are mind-blowing. The way they visual the planet is incredible. And the way they visual the robot looks fantastic. Whoever was the cinematographer of this film, they did 150% into these things. Just the way that the robot looks awesome. And speaking of the robot, I'll get to that soon. The scores for each episode are awesome. I don't know who the guy who does the scores for these episodes, I'll put his name right here, but they did a fantastic job making these scores. And each story in each episode are really intense. I thought they were pretty cool, and whoever directed the story is cool, and there's actually a few intense moments in these stories. I was just hoping whether these characters will make it out alive. I think the one part of these stories that I found the most interesting, and it's the same things that I love about a lot of space movies or TV shows, is where characters have to make really hard moral decisions, and these characters are just juggling between themselves as to whether or not to do these actions or sacrifices, and the sacrifices that they decide to go with are awesome. I thought they were really intense, and I totally almost cried at the characters' choices, why they decide to do them. And if I was in the same situation as these characters, I probably could have been heartbroken by what I had to do. A lot of space movies have done these things, like Gravity, Passengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, which I plan to make a video on very soon. I just love these intense moments where characters have to make sacrifices or really hard decisions. Now let's talk about the acting. the actors and actresses are cool, and the characters that they play are outstandingly. The Robertsons are a great family of astronaut families who will do their best to sacrifice themselves for the other and protect each other. Like Toby Stevens as John, the father of this family, I loved his performance. He had the most cool action scenes and the most developed personality out of all the characters, I think. And I just love he's determined to protect his family because he's the father, and he had a lot of good relationships with other people. Like the relationship with his wife, Maureen. Maureen? Yeah, Maureen. I did like their relationship, and I did kind of like Maureen, although she was a bit hit or miss for me. I don't know, but I still really liked her, and I found her really interesting. Then we have Judy. Now, Judy, I didn't really find that awesome. In fact, I would consider her the second weakest character in the show, but I still really liked her, although I understand the reason as to why she's all this insane or terrible with things. It's because of an incident that happens to her in the first episode. I won't give it away because it's major spoilers, but that scene, on the edge of my seat, I was hoping she would survive. So yeah, although she isn't the best character, I still did like her. She was pretty entertaining. But my two favourite characters, not in the show, but out of all the Robinson family, was first off, Maxwell Jenkins as Will. I loved his performance in this show. I love the adventurous and high-spirited of this character, and basically he's trying his best to make sure that a lot of people understand that this robot isn't dangerous, but nobody will listen to him or take him seriously. I can really feel his frustration in this show, and he had a lot of great characters and relationships. And the second best character in the Robinson family is Minna Sundwall as Penny. I hope that's how you pronounce the actor's name. But what I love about her performance is that even though they're in this terrible situation, she puts a positive outlook on this. Like, she treats it like a joke. Like, I love this performance. And this is really relatable because in a lot of space movies, there are characters who have a positive outlook on these terrible, shooty situations. Man, she is awesome. And the relationships between characters are quite strong. The best one out of all the characters is the relationship between Will and the robot. Man, they are the heart of this show. They had the best relationship. I mean, just the robot trying to learn the understandings that Will has gone through, and Will trying to protect them. They will always see each other no matter what. And okay, I know I've been hinting to it for quite a while now, so let's just straight out address it, shall we? I love the robot. He is so lovely. He is one of the best visuals and characters I've ever seen in a show. I mean, there are only a few shows that have perfect characters. Family Guy, Futurama, Arrested Development, and now Lost in Space. The way that they used this character is exhilarating, just non-stop. I fell in love with this robot instantly. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen in the next season so that we can learn more about him and why he did all the things that he did on the ship. And the reason why people hate this robot is because of what he did on this big ship, just attacking people, and Will tries his best. So yeah, I love their relationship, and this robot is awesome. Now there is one character that I did really have mixed feelings about, because sometimes she was okay, but sometimes I did have a problem with her. And that is Dr. Smith, the main antagonist of the show. I did feel like she was a really insane villain. I mean, she manipulates people into letting her get what she wants. She is downright insane. Although, guys, I'm still a bit torn by how to feel about this character. I don't hate her, but I'm not in love with her either. But I'll explain more of that later on. But there is no doubt that this character is the most manipulative villain I've ever seen. Or one of them, besides the Joker. She can manipulate people, like I said, into letting her get what she wants. And of course, the show's climax. There are a few things in this world that can make me awesome, and just the way they use climaxes. Lost in Space is one of them, because its climax is one of the most intense and engaging scenes I've ever seen in a TV show. And the last thing that I really love about this show was its ending. I won't give it away, but it's a ending that can leave us on our toes wanting more. And oh my god, I am super excited to see another season of Lost in Space. I really cannot wait. Guys, I don't have any major issues with Lost in Space. It's a fantastic looking, visual stimulating, intense and engaging show from beginning to end, and I'm super excited to see another season. But I did have one nitpick with the show, and that is the main villain, Dr. Smith. Now earlier, I mentioned how I was still pretty torn by how to feel about this character. Other than that, I still think that she's a really methodical villain, and she can manipulate people. But the problem I had with this character is that I personally feel like that she was no way in need of this show. Did this character need to be in this show? And I think I took a bit of a long time, because I said, yeah, no. I went back and forth, and I finally came to a conclusion. No. If this character was not in the show, I didn't really feel like it could impress the show or dispress the show, because the film didn't really need to have a main antagonist if the planet the Robinsons are on and this malfunction of the robot is already a big enough threat. Like, what do we need this character for? I mean, yeah, she's still methodical, but I just didn't feel like she needed to be in the show. So yeah, even talking about that, I still don't know how to feel about this character. I don't hate her, but I'm not in love with her either. It's a personal thing that kind of bothered me myself, for me. Overall, guys, I cannot disagree with what I feel right now. This is, without doubt, the best show on Netflix so far. It was engaging throughout, it was intense, it was gripping, the characters were great, the stories were cool, and I am very impressed. I cannot wait to see another season. I am really excited. And you already know what I'm going to give this show. A 5 out of 5 stars. It is a masterpiece of a show, and I can't really talk more about it without giving away any major spoilers, because one thing leads to another. And if you have Netflix, go see it right now. But overall, guys, what do you guys think of Lost in Space? Do you absolutely love it as much as I did? Do you think it's really intense? Or did you really dislike it and you feel like you like the other ones better? And I want to ask you this question: which is your favourite Netflix original show? Let me know in the comment section below. And I am going to review Guardians of the Galaxy. I will review it, I promise. And until then, guys, peace out, man.